The sound of breaking metal echoed through the house. Something had forced its way inside. The air felt heavy. Danger was close. Lyra stood frozen. Her body refused to move. Her mind was filled with fear again. But in front of her, Daniel stood firm. He did not step back. He did not hesitate. "Stay behind me," he said again. His voice was calm, but strong. Corin moved forward, ready to fight. The other aliens followed. For the first time, humans and Varelians stood on the same side. A dark shape appeared from the broken wall, a machine, large, cold, controlled by the rebel group. Its red lights scanned the room, looking for targets. Lyra's heart raced. This is it, she thought. The machine moved. Fast. Daniel reacted instantly. He pushed Lyra aside. A blast hit the wall behind her. Dust filled the air. Lyra fell to the ground. Her ears rang. When she looked up, Daniel was still standing, but now, closer to danger. He had taken the risk, for her. Corin attacked the machine. The others joined him. The fight was fast, loud, dangerous. Daniel worked with them, not as an enemy, but as an ally, step by step. They pushed the machine back. Finally, a strong hit from Corin disabled it. The red lights faded. The machine stopped moving. Silence. Only heavy breathing remained. Lyra slowly stood up, her body still shaking. She looked around. The house was damaged. The walls were broken, but everyone was alive. Her eyes moved to Daniel. He was leaning against the wall, holding his side. Lyra's heart dropped. She rushed toward him, without thinking. "Daniel," she said. It was the first time she said his name without fear. He looked at her, a small, tired smile on his face. "I'm okay," he said softly, but he was not. There was pain in his eyes. Lyra knelt beside him, her hands trembling. "You are hurt," she said. Daniel shook his head slightly. "It's nothing." But she did not believe him. Carefully, she helped him sit down, just like he had helped her before. Her hands were gentle. Careful. Corin watched this. Silently, the same Lyra who once feared humans was now helping one. The room was quiet again. After a few moments, Corin stepped forward. He looked at Daniel, then at Lyra. His expression had changed. "This," he paused, "is not what we expected." Lyra stood slowly. She turned toward him. "No," she said softly. "It is not." Corin looked around, at the broken machine, at the damaged house, at the human who had protected them. "He risked his life," one of the aliens said quietly. Corin nodded. Lyra took a step forward. Her voice was calm now. Clear. "You told me humans cannot be trusted," she said. Corin did not answer. "I believe that," she continued. She looked at Daniel, then back at her people. "But I was wrong." The words felt heavy, but true. "He never forced me," Lyra said. "He never controlled me. He only showed kindness." Silence filled the room again. Corin lowered his gaze slightly. "We only knew the war," he said. Lyra nodded. "So did I." She took a deep breath. "But there is more," she said. Her voice was stronger now. "Humans are not just one thing. They can be dangerous, and yes, but they can also care. They can protect. They can choose kindness." Daniel listened quietly. He did not interrupt. He did not speak for himself. Lyra turned to him. For a moment, she hesitated. Then she said something simple. "Thank you." Daniel smiled again. That same gentle smile from the beginning. "You're safe," he said. "Not I saved you, not you owe me, just you're safe." Lyra felt something warm in her chest. The fear that once filled her was gone. In its place was trust, real trust. Days later, things became calm again. The damage was repaired. The danger had passed. Corin and the others prepared to leave. Before leaving, Corin stood in front of Lyra. "You can come back with us," he said. Lyra looked at him, then at the home around her, then at Daniel. She smiled softly. "No," she said. Corin did not argue. He understood. "You have changed," he said. Lyra nodded. "Yes," she replied. He gave a small nod in return, then left. Lyra stood at the door, watching them go. Then she turned back inside. Daniel was there, waiting, not expecting anything. Lyra walked closer to him, this time without fear. "I want to stay," she said. Daniel nodded. "You are free to choose," he replied. Lyra smiled. For the first time, truly. For many days, life stayed calm, too calm. Lyra almost forgot what fear felt like. Almost. She now moved freely inside the house. She spoke more. She even sat near Daniel without feeling the need to leave. But deep inside, a small part of her still waited, waiting for something to go wrong, waiting for the truth to reveal itself. And then, it happened. One morning, the sky looked different. Gray. Heavy. Lyra noticed it from the window. "Is something wrong?" she asked. Daniel looked outside. His expression changed slightly. "Yes," he said quietly. "There is some tension nearby." "Tension?" Lyra asked. Daniel nodded. "Some of your people have arrived." Lyra's heart stopped for a moment. "My people," she whispered, before Daniel could say more. There was a loud sound outside, a ship landing, not smooth, not peaceful. Lyra stepped back. Her fear returned quickly. "Stay here," Daniel said gently. But this time, his voice was more serious. Lyra watched him walk toward the door. Something felt different. He opened it. Outside, several figures stood. Aliens from Varelia. Lyra's eyes widened. She rushed forward. "Wait," she said. But she stopped when she saw their faces. They looked angry, tense. One of them stepped forward. A tall figure named Corin, a soldier from her world. "Lyra," Corin said sharply. "You are coming with us." Lyra froze. "What?" she said. Corin's eyes moved toward Daniel, filled with distrust. "You don't belong here," he said. "Humans cannot be trusted." Lyra felt her chest tighten again. Old fears came back, strong. Daniel stood calmly. He did not move forward. He did not act aggressive. "She is safe here," Daniel said. Corin gave a cold laugh. "Safe?" he repeated. "You think we believe that?" The other aliens stepped closer. "We know how humans work," Corin continued. "They act kind until they control everything." Lyra's mind started to spin. These were her people, her own kind. They believed the same thing she once believed. "She is under your influence," another alien said. "We will take her back." Daniel's voice remained calm. "I will not stop her if she wants to leave." Everyone went silent. Lyra looked at him, surprised. He was not forcing her to stay, not even now. Corin stepped closer. "Come with us," he said. "You don't have to live like this." Lyra looked from Corin to Daniel. Two worlds, two choices. Fear, and something new. She could not speak. Her thoughts were loud. What if they are right? What if this kindness is fake? What if everything changes tomorrow? Her breathing became fast. Suddenly, another loud sound echoed in the distance, an alarm. Daniel turned quickly. His face became serious again. "They are attacking," he said. "Who?" Lyra asked. "A rebel group," Daniel replied. "They don't accept peace between our species." Corin looked shocked. "What?" Another explosion sounded. Closer this time. Everything changed in a second. Daniel moved fast. "Everyone get inside," he said. But the aliens hesitated. They did not trust him. That moment of hesitation was dangerous. A blast hit nearby. The ground shook. Lyra lost balance again. Daniel rushed forward without thinking. He grabbed her arm, pulling her away from danger. A piece of debris crashed where she had been standing. Lyra's eyes widened. Daniel had reacted without hesitation, without fear. Inside. Now! He shouted. This time everyone moved. They rushed into the house. More sounds outside, more danger. The door closed. Inside, the air was tense. Corin looked at Daniel, still unsure, still suspicious. "Why help us?" he asked. Daniel did not answer right away. He looked at Lyra, then back at Corin. "Because you are not the enemy," he said simply. Another explosion shook the walls. The house was not safe for long. Daniel quickly moved, checking systems, blocking entrances, preparing defense. Lyra watched him. He was focused, calm under pressure, not cruel, not selfish. He was protecting everyone, even those who did not trust him. Suddenly, a loud crash came from the back. Something broke through. Danger was inside now. Lyra froze. Corin prepared to fight. Daniel stepped forward, placing himself between danger and them. "Stay behind me," he said. Lyra's heart raced. He was risking himself, not for control, not for power, for them. After the fall, something inside Lyra began to change. It was not a big change, not fast, but it was there. She no longer stayed in her room all the time. Now she opened the door more often. Sometimes she stepped outside for a few minutes. Sometimes longer. Daniel never reacted strongly. He never rushed toward her. He never tried to start long conversations. He only greeted her gently and gave her space. That made it easier for her to breathe, easier for her to stay. One morning, Lyra was sitting near the window in the main room. She was watching the sky. Blue, so different from her home. She heard footsteps behind her. Soft, slow. Daniel stopped a few steps away. "Can I sit here?" he asked. Lyra looked at him. For a moment she said nothing. Then she gave a small nod. Daniel sat down, but not too close. There was still distance between them, a safe distance. Silence stayed for a while, but this time, it did not feel heavy. Lyra held the translator in her hand. She looked at it, then at him. "I want to ask something," she said slowly. Daniel nodded. "You can ask anything." She hesitated. Her fingers tightened slightly. "Humans..." She paused, searching for words. "Are they all like you?" Daniel did not answer right away. He looked thoughtful, careful. "No," he said honestly. Lyra's chest felt tight again. "Some humans can be kind," he continued. "Some can be cruel." That answer surprised her. It was simple, but real. "Then, why?" Lyra asked. "Why did we hear only bad things?" Daniel took a slow breath. "Because bad things are louder," he said. "They are easier to remember." Lyra listened closely. "When humans fight, it leaves scars," he added. "And those scars stay for a long time." Lyra thought about her world, about the war, about the stories. "So, humans did hurt us," she said. Daniel nodded. "Yes." He did not deny it. He did not try to hide it. "But," he said gently, "that is not all we are." Lyra looked at him, her eyes searching again. "Then what are you?" she asked. Daniel gave a small smile. Not proud, not strong, just honest. "We are complicated," he said. That word stayed in her mind. Complicated. Lyra had never thought of humans like that. To her, they were simple, dangerous, cold. But now, things were not so simple. Days passed. More small talks began. Short, careful, but real. Lyra asked many questions. Why do humans help strangers? Why do humans fight each other? Why do humans smile even when they are sad? Daniel answered each one with patience, never rushing, never judging. Sometimes he asked questions too, about her world, about her people, about her life before this. At first, Lyra did not answer much, but slowly, she began to share. She told him about Virelia, about the purple skies, about the quiet forests, about the songs her people used to sing. Daniel listened carefully. He never interrupted. One evening, something deeper happened. The lights in the house were soft. The air was calm. Lyra was sitting across from Daniel, the distance between them smaller than before. She looked down at her hands, then spoke quietly. "I was very afraid," she said. Daniel did not speak. He only listened. "I thought," she paused, "you would hurt me." Her voice was low, almost shaking. "I thought I would lose everything." Silence filled the room, but it was not uncomfortable. Daniel spoke gently. "I understand." Lyra looked up, surprised. "You understand?" she asked. He nodded. "I would be afraid too," he said. "If I was sent to another world, to live with someone I was told to fear." Lyra stared at him. He was not defending himself. He was not denying her fear. He was accepting it. That made something inside her soften. "I am still afraid," she said quietly. Daniel nodded again. "That is okay. No pressure, no demand to change, just acceptance." Lyra felt something new, something she had not felt since leaving home. Safety, not complete, not perfect, but real. For the first time, she did not feel alone. Later that night, Lyra stood by the window again. She looked at the sky. Blue, strange, but not as cold as before. Behind her, she heard Daniel moving in the kitchen. Quiet, calm. She realized something. He never tried to control her, never tried to change her. He only stayed kind. And that kindness was slowly breaking the wall she had built inside. The days began to feel longer for Lyra, not because of fear alone, but because of silence. The house was always quiet, too quiet. No shouting, no commands, no sudden anger. It was not what she expected. Lyra still stayed inside her room most of the time. But now, she listened. She paid attention. She started to learn Daniel's daily routine. He woke up early. He moved softly around the house. He spoke to no one. Sometimes she heard soft sounds from another room, like music. Calm music. Not loud, not aggressive, just peaceful. Every morning, food was placed outside her door. Every night, the same. Always warm, always careful, always with space. He never knocked twice. He never asked why she did not come out. At first, Lyra thought this was part of a plan. But plans usually change. Plans usually push forward. This one did not. It stayed the same. Gentle. Patient. One day, something different happened. When Lyra opened the door to take the food, she saw something new on the tray. A small object. She froze. Her eyes focused on it. It was a small device, glowing softly. She stepped back quickly. "Is this a tracker?" she thought. Or something worse. Her heart started beating faster again. She waited, listened, no footsteps, no voice. Slowly, she leaned closer. There was a note beside the object. Her hands moved carefully as she picked it up. The note said, "This can help translate our languages, only if you want to use it." Daniel Lyra stared at the device. A translator. So, He wanted to understand her or wanted her to understand him? She sat back inside her room, holding the small device. For a long time, she did nothing. Her mind was full of doubt, but also curiosity. After a while, she pressed it. The device made a soft sound. A light appeared. She spoke one simple word in her language. Hello. The device paused, then repeated it in human language. Lyra's eyes widened slightly. It worked. That night, for the first time, she spoke more, not to Daniel, but to herself, testing the device, learning, understanding. The next morning, something unexpected happened again. When she opened the door, Daniel was there, not close, but not far either. Lyra froze. Her body became stiff again. She almost closed the door. But then, she stopped. Daniel noticed her. He did not move forward. He stayed where he was. For a moment, they just looked at each other. Silence filled the space. Then Daniel spoke slowly, using simple words. Good morning. Lyra. The translator in her hand repeated his words. Lyra understood, fully, clearly. She hesitated. Her throat felt tight. But then, very softly, she replied, Good morning. It was the first time she spoke to him. Daniel's expression changed slightly. Not shock, not excitement, just quiet happiness. I am glad, he said gently. Then he stepped back again, giving her space. Lyra watched him leave. Her mind felt different. Something had changed, a small step, but important. Later that day, Lyra did something she had not done before. She left her room. Very slowly, she walked into the main part of the house. Her steps were light, careful. Her eyes moved everywhere, looking for danger, looking for control. But there was none. She saw Daniel in another room. He was working on something, a broken object, fixing it with his hands. Lyra watched him quietly. He did not notice her this time, or maybe he still pretended not to. She stayed there for a few seconds, then turned to leave. But suddenly, her foot slipped. Lyra lost her balance. She fell forward. Her hand hit the ground hard. Pain shot through her arm. A small sound escaped her lips. Daniel heard it. He turned quickly. For a second, Lyra's fear returned. This is it, she thought. He will show his real nature now. He moved toward her. Fast, but not aggressive. Lyra tried to move back, but her arm hurt too much. Daniel stopped a short distance away. He did not grab her. He did not rush. Are you hurt? He asked gently. Lyra did not answer. She only watched him, waiting. Slowly he moved. Closer, very slowly, giving her time to react. Then he reached out, but not to control, to help. His touch was careful. Light. He helped her sit up. His hands were steady, warm. Lyra expected pain, but there was none. He looked at her arm. I need to check, he said softly. She hesitated, but did not pull away. Daniel examined her arm gently. Then he brought a small medical kit. He treated her injury with care. Slow movements. No force. No pressure. Lyra watched him the whole time, her eyes searching his face, looking for something dark, something hidden. But she saw none. Only focus. Only concern. When he finished, he stepped back again. You will be okay, he said. No demand, no expectation, just help. Lyra stayed silent. Her heart felt different again. This was not fear, not fully. Something inside her was changing, very slowly, very quietly. Lyra did not step inside the house right away. She stood at the door, her body stiff, her eyes watching every small movement of the human in front of her. Daniel. He had already stepped back, giving her space. He did not try to guide her. He did. not touch her. He only waited. That made her more unsure. Why is he not acting? She thought. Slowly, after a long moment, Lyra stepped inside. The house was quiet. It was simple, clean, and calm. There were no guards, no locked doors, no signs of control. That felt strange. She looked around carefully, trying to notice anything dangerous. Weapons, hidden devices, anything. But she saw nothing. "This is your space," Daniel said gently, pointing. "Toward a room down the hall. You can stay there. No one will disturb you." Lyra did not answer. She only nodded slightly. Her voice felt trapped inside her. Daniel did not ask questions. He did not follow her. He only said one more thing. "If you need anything, you can tell me." Lyra walked quickly to the room. The moment she entered, she closed the door, then she locked it. Her hands were shaking again. She stood there for a long time, just listening, waiting, expecting something. But nothing happened. No footsteps, no knocking, no voice, only silence. The room was comfortable. There was a soft bed, a small table, a window that showed the outside world. Lyra slowly walked to the window. She saw humans passing by outside. They looked normal. Some were talking, some were laughing. No one looked dangerous. But she still could not trust them. Hours passed. Lyra did not leave the room. She sat in the corner, holding her bag close. Her mind was full of questions. Why is he acting like this? Is he waiting for something? Is this a test? She had been trained to be careful. Humans were known for strategy. Maybe this kindness was not real. Maybe it was just the beginning. Her stomach started to hurt. She had not eaten since the journey, but she did not want to leave the room. What if he was waiting outside? What if the moment she stepped out, everything changed? She stayed where she was. Hungry. Tired. Afraid. Night came. The light outside became dim. The house grew even quieter. Lyra's eyes slowly became heavy, but she forced herself to stay awake. She did not feel safe enough to sleep, not here, not in a human house. Then suddenly, a soft sound came from outside the door. Lyra's body became tense. Her heart started racing. She looked toward the door, holding her breath. Footsteps, slow, careful. They stopped right outside her room. She did not move. She did not speak. Then, a very soft knock. Lyra froze. She expected the door to open, but it did not. Instead, Daniel's voice came from the other side. "I left some food here," he said quietly. "You don't have to open the door now." There was a small pause. Then he added, "Eat when you feel safe." Lyra did not respond. She waited. More silence. Then she heard footsteps again, moving away. Not waiting, not forcing, just leaving. Minutes passed. Then more minutes. Lyra slowly stood up. Her legs felt weak. She moved toward the door very carefully. Her hand touched the lock. She hesitated. What if this is a trap? She thought, but her hunger was strong. Slowly, she unlocked the door. She opened it just a little. There was no one there, only a small tray on the floor. Lyra opened the door a bit more. Still no one. She stepped out slowly. Her eyes moved quickly, in every direction. Nothing. The house was quiet again. She looked down at the tray. There was food. Simple. Warm, and next to it, a small note. Lyra picked it up carefully. It said, "I tried to make something close to your world's food. I hope it is okay." Daniel Lyra stared at the note. Her mind was confused again. How does he know my food? Why is he trying? This did not make sense. Humans were not supposed to care like this. She took the tray and quickly went back into her room. She locked the door again. Then she sat on the floor, looking at the food. She waited. Nothing happened. No hidden reaction. No danger. Slowly. She took a small bite. Her eyes widened slightly. It was not perfect, but it was close. Very close to the food from her home. Lyra felt something strange again. Not fear this time, something softer, but she pushed it away. No, this is not real, she told herself. This is just part of the plan. Days passed like this. Lyra stayed in her room most of the time. Daniel did not force her out, every day. He left food outside. He spoke gently. He kept his distance. He never raised his voice. He never demanded anything. Lyra started to notice patterns. He woke up early. He worked quietly. He respected her space. Too much. One day she opened the door a little earlier than usual. She saw him in the distance. He was fixing something in the house. He did not notice her, or maybe he pretended not to. Lyra watched him for a moment. He looked normal. Just a person, not a monster. But her fear was still there. Not gone, just weaker. Lyra stood at the edge of the landing platform, her hands shaking slightly as the cold wind moved across her skin. The sky above her homeworld, Veralia, was soft purple, calm and quiet. It looked peaceful. But inside her heart, there was only fear. She had not slept for 2 nights. The message still echoed in her mind. You have been chosen. Those 4 words had changed everything. From the time she was a child, Lyra had heard stories about humans. Dark stories. Stories that made young ones hide under their sleeping covers. Humans were dangerous. Humans were cruel. Humans did not feel mercy. They were the reason her people had lost the war many cycles ago. A war that had ended not with victory, but with an agreement. A forced peace. And part of that peace was marriage. Every cycle, a few from Veralia were sent to Earth. Not as prisoners. Not exactly. But not free either. They were to live with humans. To build trust between the 2 species. That was what the leaders said. But to Lyra, it felt like a slow punishment. Now it was her turn. She tightened her grip on the small bag in her hand. It held only a few personal items. Things that reminded her of home. Things she was not sure she would ever see again. Behind her, her mother stood silently. Her eyes were full of sadness. You can still talk to them, her mother said softly. Maybe they will choose someone else. Lyra slowly shook her head. They won't, she replied in a weak voice. The decision is final. She had already tried. She had begged. But no one listened. This was for peace. This was for the future. This was necessary, words that sounded good, but felt empty. A loud sound broke the silence. The transport ship was arriving. Lyra's heart began to race. This was it. She looked at her mother one last time. No more words were needed. They both understood. Slowly, Lyra stepped forward. Each step felt heavy, like she was walking into darkness. Inside the ship, everything felt strange and cold. The walls were smooth and silver. The air smelled different. Not like home. Lyra sat alone near a window. As the ship lifted, she watched Veralia grow smaller and smaller. Her home, fading away. A deep pain filled her chest. She closed her eyes. But the stories returned again, humans shouting, humans fighting, humans destroying cities. She had seen old recordings. She had heard elders speak. Never trust a human, they always said. They smile, but they hide danger. Her breathing became faster. What would happen to her? Would her human husband control her? Would he be cold? Would he hurt her? She wrapped her arms around herself. She was not ready. The journey felt long, even though it was only a few hours. Lyra did not eat. She did not speak. She only waited. When the ship finally slowed down, her body became tense. Earth. She had arrived. The doors opened with a soft sound. Bright light entered the ship. Lyra stood up slowly. Her legs felt weak. Step by step, she walked out. The first thing she noticed was the sky. It was blue, not purple like Varelia. It felt different. There were many humans around the landing area. They moved quickly, speaking in a language she barely understood. Lyra stayed close to the guide, assigned to her. She did not want to get lost. Her eyes moved from one human to another. They looked normal. Too normal. No sharp teeth, no aggressive movements. But that did not calm her. It made her more unsure. Monsters don't always look like monsters, she thought. After some time, the guide stopped. "We are here," the guide said. Lyra's heart dropped. In front of her was a simple house, not large, not powerful, just normal. The door opened, and then she saw him. He was standing quietly at the entrance, a human male, tall, but not intimidating. His face was calm, his eyes were soft. This was her husband? Lyra froze. Her body refused to move. This was the moment she had feared the most. The human looked at her. For a second there was silence. Then something unexpected happened. He gave a small, gentle smile. Not a cruel smile. Not a proud smile, just kind. He took one step forward, slowly, as if he did not want to scare her. Then he spoke. His voice was soft. "Hello, Lyra." He said her name carefully, trying to say it right. "I am Daniel." Lyra's heart was beating so loudly, she could barely hear anything else. This was wrong. This was not how it was supposed to be. Where was the anger? Where was the control? Where was the fear? Daniel kept a safe distance. He did not come closer. He did not reach for her. Instead, he said something that confused her even more. "You don't have to be afraid," he said gently. Lyra stared at him. Her mind could not understand. All her life she had prepared for a monster, but the human in front of her did not look like one. Still, fear did not leave her. Not yet. Maybe this was a trick. Maybe this was how humans gained trust. Before they showed their true nature. She took a small step back, Daniel noticed, and he stopped moving completely. "I understand," he said quietly. "Take your time. No anger, no pressure, only patience." Lyra felt something strange inside her. Not safety, not yet, but confusion. Deep confusion.